We've carefully examined all the evidence in this case and have concluded that no charges will be filed against anyone in this case.
Welcome into the Campus Insiders studios for this Insiders Alert. I am Bonnie Bernstein. That was Florida State Attorney Willie Meggs just announcing there will be no charges filed against Florida State quarterback Jameis Winston in the incident that took place just about a year ago. I am joined by Joe Lopez, a legal analyst who's been a defense attorney for more than 30 years, tried thousands of cases. A couple of things that stood out to me, Joe, from the press conference. Number one, there were several people in the room at the time of this incident, all of whom have been interviewed. Number two, there were two DNA pieces found on the accuser's clothing. Her boyfriend's DNA ultimately was found on her shorts. Winston's was found in her underwear. And also Meg said there was no evidence of a struggle, which obviously is something that needs to be there for there to file charges for sexual assault. So when you think about everything that was said, what was your immediate takeaway?
Well, my immediate takeaway, from the beginning, I thought it was a weak case based on what I had read previous to this, which was very limited information. But I think that the state's attorney's office looked at it, found that the circumstances that they had wouldn't be a provable case. You have all these other people in a room. You have DNA from two different individuals. That's always a problem for a prosecutor. And
a lot of inconsistencies and holes in her story. He specifically alluded to memory lapses, which obviously makes bringing a case tough. I thought it was interesting, though, for as long as it took Tallahassee Police Department to turn it over to the state attorney, that Meggs did not want to address that. He said that he took no issue with that. Why do you think he was just so hands-off about it?
Well, I believe because he's an elected official, he's a politician, he's elected by the people in that county, and he has to work with the Tallahassee Police Department all of the time. He has to prosecute the cases that they investigate. They bring the case to him. Many times the state's attorneys don't have any input into the investigation, as opposed to the federal government where the U.S. attorneys, the prosecutors actually work hand in hand with DEA and FBI and other federal agencies. In state, it's a little bit different because the police officers work on the case without the state's attorney unless they need a search warrant or something. So sometimes these cases, I've seen murder cases gone on for 18 months of investigation before they're presented to the state's attorney. So maybe it wasn't an unusual circumstance as well.
All of these documents now become a matter of public record, courtesy of the Freedom of Information Act. Meggs was quick to point out to the media that nobody can publicly put the accuser's name out there. That name must be redacted in all documents. But again, so many questions. Which do you want to see answered as you take a look at these documents?
Well, I want to see the documents. I want to see what these witnesses had to tell these investigators. What exactly happened in that off-campus apartment? And obviously, the witnesses must have been saying it must have been a consensual act, that she consented to it. They apparently were in the same room when this occurred. I don't know what was going on, if they're having a mini orgy or something. I'm not really sure. Nobody really knows. But it's an unusual circumstance where you have spectators while a sex act is being performed.
Joe Lopez, thanks so much for the legal analysis. We're going to have more on this story tomorrow on the download at 1 o'clock Eastern. Thanks for joining us. I'm Bonnie Bernstein.